So what's the top three your favorite guests for Invest Fest?
I really enjoy Diddy. Like to see that enthusiasm, this is coming from like a diehard Tupac fan, but to see like the thing that I saw on stage that people don't factor in, how much he endured. Like the stuff that he went through with just the party and early in his career, then the formation of Bad Boy, losing Big, losing Mace, going through the stuff with Death Row, having to be the face of Bad Boy and put out albums.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then all the things he's going through with Diageo, like just the perseverance.
And that's outside his personal life.
And helping everyone and the return not always coming back. So I've also identified too, his story is, in terms of comebacks, is more miraculous than Steve Jobs, but often our entrepreneurs get vilified. Notice that everyone that's great in our space, him, Dame, Jay, Kanye, they all get called evil or crazy to demonetize what their actual value of the brands are. We can argue, like, I mean, Diddy's taking better care of his kids than Steve did.
Yes.
And that's barely mentioned. Like, kudos to the Jobs family. Love you guys dearly. I don't want any issues. But some of the issues that he's faced, it would have broken the average person. I don't know if Mark Benioff could have handled the all-out war with Larry Ellison in 99 or 96, right? That was a favorite guest. Of course, I enjoyed the time with Kathy and Mike. That was very special for me. But like the ones who it's interesting to see like how hungry Rich Paul was. Like if certain people just came out and it's like, oh, you came this weekend to kill.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I would say, you know.
I don't think they was expecting that.
They wasn't expecting
Rich Paul was on one. He was on one. He surprised me because I know Rich, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know Rich. We spoke to him a variety of different times. He's more of a laid back kind of
chill,
guy.
yeah.
He not like, but he was laser focused, and you could tell that he was prepared for the moment. He was on his A game. And so unfortunately, I never get to really watch a lot of panels.
Yeah.
So I'm not really qualified to say like who was my top, because I only saw like a few of them.
Who did you hear had impact though?
No, I'll let him go because I watched a few. Okay.
Well, first I want to talk about Rich Paul. So like I said, Rich Paul came out laser focused, hit on all cylinders.
Yeah. If you get the replay, watch his first.
What he said about the LeBron thing was extremely insightful. Man, it was a very dope conversation. Rich was laser focused, so he was up there for me for sure. I think another person that was laser focused was Robert Smith.
Yeah,
I think he came ready for any angle, because I spoke to him before.
Yeah,
and he's like, you know, what's the angle of the conversation going to be? And I told him, he's like, I already saw the questions, but Steve Harvey didn't really ask him a lot of the questions that we gave him to ask. He kind of just improvised, but it didn't throw him off his pivot.
Absolutely.
He was ready for it. Like Steve Harvey is asking him questions about taking money out of your house.
Yeah.
Robert Smith, he probably wasn't prepared to answer that question because it's Robert Smith. He
doesn't need that. Yeah.
You know, somebody that's talking about home equity, but the way he answered it, and he answered it and related it to private equity.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great analogy when he said, like, you know, capitalism, and he talked about how, you know, he's always taught, and this is what most working class and poor people are taught, like just from a laborer standpoint, and not from a capital standpoint. Mm-hmm. And once he understood the making capital work is more beneficial than working, that changed his life. Yeah, really, he's like, you know, he made $38,000 a year. He thought that was it. Yeah. You know, so
coffee story was interesting.
Yeah. So you know, he was laser focused for sure.
Yeah. Even Steve though, the comedic relief, like his showmanship and like
it's masterful. Steve joking the joke. You know,
oh my God,
he's one of the greatest to ever do it for a reason.
Absolutely.
So, you know, the way that he was able to engage the crowd and speak in common terms that most people can understand, relate to. I think he didn't want to kind of get to a space where nobody knew what was being.
But look how vulnerable. I want to address that, but how vulnerable he was just to even. Let me knock that down real quick. Like he doesn't have to say anything. You can let press do that, but for him to go in front of the crowd and say, "Hey, I don't know what y'all thought, but it's like."
Shout out to Sean, the spiritual word. That's the thing.
They shout the spiritual word. Yeah,
they clipped that up.
Yeah,
they had exclusive access. Yeah, they used their exclusive access to the advantage on that one.
Yeah.
Because I think they're the only ones that actually was able to clip that because it was there.
Yeah.
But For sure. I mean, like I said, those are things that I saw. I personally witnessed it. I didn't. I watched some of your panel. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. But I heard that your panel was amazing. I heard 19 Keys' presentation was dope. I heard the AI panel was really great.
That was buzzing.
I heard the reparations panel was really great.
Mm-hmm.
The Fidelity stage had a lot of great education.
I want to go.
A lot of great education.
Yeah, which one? Yeah,
because you brought up the Fidelity stage, so I actually went over there.
Yeah.
But just again, I wanted to make sure I saw it, and that VC conversation, and shout out to Phaedra and Ruben Harris.
Yeah.
Phaedra was like, you want to talk about laser focus?
Can you come on the show, please?
Ready for the moment.
Yeah.
I was sitting next to her. I think it was her assistant, and she was just recording, and we were sitting there like, she's going crazy. Yeah. That was incredible. I got to give a huge shout out to Humble. Humble came on that stage, and he lit that stage up. Yeah. And we know Humble. We've been in plenty of environments with Humble. Incredible guy. He brought his son there. He came ready, and that first panel with him. And it was Alonzo Ball. Shout out to Alonzo Ball and Mav Carter. Humble went crazy.
Humble, I need you on the show, brother. It's long overdue.
Rich, I mean, that was amazing. But I got it. When I saw Kiana Watson's panel with Terica Smith, and shout out to Terica. Yeah. If you know her story is one of triumph. It's remarkable, the things that she's been through to be where she's at. But to see her next to Cheryl McKissick, when we talk about generational wealth, and this person is the embodiment of 5 generations of business and wealth. And to hear her tell Cheryl that she's her role model. Yeah. And Cheryl looked back at her, and after hearing Terica's story and saying, you know, I don't just buy homes anymore. I buy communities, and I name the streets after my kids. Yeah, that's... Cheryl McKissick looked at her and said, you're my role model. That's deep. And I was like, yeah, this is a moment. Yeah, it's a moment. Shout out to Terica. Shout out to the entire panel. Shout out to Kiana Watson for hosting it. Yeah. That was incredible. Diddy, of course. I mean, everybody brought it. Absolutely. Wait, Joy Taylor. Yeah. Joy Taylor. Yeah.
Joy Taylor won the Best Dressed Award.
Joy Taylor. I was getting texts like, yo, Joy is incredible. Like, she's incredible the way she's able to navigate through the panel. I mean, she's a pro. Yeah. But I mean, she came up, showed out. Everybody delivered, man. And I'm glad you brought up the Fidelity stage, because that stage right there, to see how many people came out to support that stage because of the topics, right? It wasn't just because there were people there. Yes, we had incredible people, but the topics were important to them. The reparations was important to it. Having Benjamin Crump there talking about it, having Jamal Bowman being there to talk. It was like people cared about the information that was being given and trying to take actionable items away to see what they can do. It was, I mean, everybody came and they delivered. So shout out to everybody that pulled up.
And even with the drip report, like one thing, I was talking to Terrence, and I know people be like, oh man, y'all talk about the drip, but like, good lesson. You have to dress how you want to be addressed. And at a certain level, you do have to dress in a royal fashion. And
you got to create controversy. Like, it got to be a debatable. That's why I don't get, like, in my comments, it might be like 70% of the people that's like, yo, that's fire. Yeah. 30% of people might be, that's trash. Like, you can't, I don't take it personal. Yeah. It's engagement. You gotta, it's controversial. Yeah. So now it's a debate of if it's good, and it's all subjective. It's like art. Yeah. What looks good to me as far as artwork, you might think is terrible. Yeah. But that's the beauty of art. Everybody can interpret it for themselves. So yeah, the drip report has become legendary, but it's a great marketing tool, and it's great to break the mold of just finance. Yeah, you know what I mean, you gotta be bigger.
Going back to being a contrarian.
Yeah, and then knowing your thing, right? It's like, hey Troy, come do the drip report. No. Shotty does the drip report. Yeah. That's his thing. Yeah. He actually likes to do that. Yeah. I'm more like, yo, I'm cool. Like, I want to put on what I think. No, we good. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like, it's not like you're not going to pull me.
Well, the first night was a cream brulee. What was that?
It was an ombre. We're going to call that, it was a croissant, right? It was more like a sunset type feel.
That was a fire.
But it was more like, that's his thing. Like, being the massive investor is your thing. I'm not saying like, yo, come look at my crystal ball. Like, no, that's your thing. Yeah. Everybody can have their thing.
Beat me out to Step It Up Friday night. Starburst inspired Saturday.
Starburst.
Turquoise, Turks and Caicos turquoise, you know?
I like that.
That was fire. Yo, everybody dressed the
That was nice.
Now, I'm really trying to figure out. I spoke to Matty J. I pulled him to the side. I said,
yo,
you really just going to go with the no ventilation play? The boy had the jacket on.
Yes.
It was 100 degrees outside.
Yes.
But
but you have to show up at like the P.T. Barnum and Diddy's match with this as well. You have to make a spectacle out of everything.
You have to. And you got to get people to talk about you.
Absolutely.
So it's like, for me, it's like, all right, the pajama play.
That was fire.
All
That's
weekend.
my favorite.
It's the pajama play. So Saturday was the satin. Sunday was the terry cloth. And it's a conversation starter. It's a conversation starter.
And it's literally like leisure wear.
Yeah.
Like seeing it, I was like, biz leisure. I was like, well played.
Biz leisure.
Well played. Shout out to Mike B for making it at the last minute.
Shout out to Mike B.
Yeah, Mike B, man. A lot of people were nervous Friday. I know some flights were getting delayed.
But you know, Mike B used to be Diddy's stylist.
Yeah,
fact.
So they had a conversation when Diddy first came in. Yeah, they was
backstage. They had a moment.
They was chopping it up and. Yeah, so
there's some legendary pictures that came for that.
So Invest Fest a vibe, man. It was a lot of great networking. I met a lot of good people. As I said, actually, when I said that thing about us not getting the proper sponsorships, few people I spoke to that day, like, yo, next year we want to do this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to push this XYZ corporation to put this in the vendor marketplace. So
I got emails came through. Hey, we want to be the title.
Yeah.
We want to be the title. I don't care what they're saying. This is what we're going to do. I got one. I'm a lobbyist.
Even though
I'm a lobbyist.
And this is important of unity. Like even the conversations that I was able to have with Mike and Kathy and like people behind the Coach K, shout out to you. But people come like, hey, I want you to meet this congressman. Let's see what we can do for market. Like you need a army. For everyone who's think you're going to be like a lone wolf entrepreneur, man, it's tough as hell to get it done. You need relationships across the board at every level. And that's what brought me like to Rich Paul. He doesn't have to prove, or Humble. They don't have to prove anything. Like their track record is spoken for but for them to be hungry on that stage, I'm like, Rich, like he came to kill everybody.
Yeah, Rich was on one.
Yeah.
He was laser focused.
Yeah,
man.
He was locked in.
And so shout out to everybody. Man, I would hate to be left out of the bubble of InvestFest. Like that is the entrepreneur Super Bowl. Like, you got to be there.
Carolyn said the WrestleMania of world finance. It's interesting. Everybody's coming up with their own taglines and phrases for it because they're like, I haven't seen the entertainment with the networking.
Yo, everybody's there.
And where's she from? We don't leave that part out.
Tell people where she's from.
So she works at Bloomberg.
Yes.
Like she works.
She goes.
But that was. I mean, Josh Brown said I never seen nothing like this.
And he works CMP. Like you know what I'm saying, they work for these cars.
That's everyone.
It's the same consensus. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah,
it's just good for everybody, and that's the thing. Like even if you weren't on the stage, like there's opportunities that can come.
Absolutely.
Just walking in the marketplace, just meeting somebody. If you had the opportunity to talk on the podcast stage, if you had the opportunity to talk on EYL stage, Fidelity stage, like it's beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
The whole ecosystem eats off of it indirectly.
Yeah, Gotti said that to us. He was like, I don't care if you didn't sell out every piece of merchandise or whatever you were doing, financial services inside that marketplace. The fact that you're in it, 20,000 people now know who your business was. Whereas 2 weeks ago, nobody knew who your business was.
Yeah.
But you were in that space. So now that gives you automatic clientele and automatic authorization. You're serious about business.
Text now. People trying to prepay for a booth next year.
Yeah.
I got a text during this. I'm gonna show you after.
Premium. I want the premium booth next year. Like, you know what I mean, so
what can you pay to have a guy like Diddy come to your booth? You know what I'm saying?
And endorse your brand for free.
On the vendor marketplace was something that we're intentional about bringing people. So Diddy came through the vendor marketplace. Steve Harvey came to the vendor marketplace. Robert Smith walked the vendor marketplace. Jeezy did a book signing.
Yeah.
In the vendor
Jeezy
marketplace.
took a bunch of pictures of people.
The vendor marketplace has become a cultural phenomenon within itself.
Yeah, he compared it to what Magic was doing in Vegas.
Oh, that's wow.
So then, because I was
right when you did fashion, even if you didn't know your brand, you
you have to be there.
You're stamped because you're here.
I was with JD and we was looking. We had like a skybox we could look into the vendor marketplace, but nobody could see up because it was tinted windows. And he's like, what's the vision? And I was telling him, like, yeah, you know, just even if you think about Essence Fest like that. And then he was, so when he came, JD came every day.
Yeah. He was moving around.
like behind just to watch.
Yeah.
Like taking notes.
Yeah. That's you never know who's gonna be there.
Like JD was there,
Fact.
like on some like I'm just here just to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be in the audience. No, I don't even want nobody to know I'm here. I'm just here just to take notes. So he was like, yo, like Sunday, I'm walking through the marketplace with him, and he was.
No, you don't paint the foot. You ain't just walking through him. You're in a mob.
Well, I'm saying I was with him.
Yeah.
I was next to him.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, y'all was in front of us, but me and JD was right next to each other. So we walking through the marketplace, and he was just saying like, yo, he's like, when you told me that thing about the vendors, I wanted to see it for myself to kind of get a full appreciation. He's like, now, he's like, I could understand it. He's like, now I'm understanding it now. He's like, this is part of my education.
Yeah.
To actually just know how the inner workings of these things actually
Go.
look. And he was like, just give me ideas about different things. He was like, nah, this is something different. Like, so yeah, man.
How you feel? Honored, humbled? Well,
it's a dope vibe to be able to curate a moment like that for the world. And like I said, I mean, it's technically world history if you think about it. I'm not actually exaggerating.
It is.
It's just by definition, it's world history. No matter how you feel about it, by definition, it's the largest financial event that's ever taken place.
Yes.
So that's world history.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You can't, there's nothing that you really can.
All genres, all communities, like it don't exist.
Yeah.
And name the guys. Like, shout out to Sticks. He called me before this. He was just like, I'm thinking about all the guys in finance, and I know a lot of them, but they can't do this.
Yeah.
They can't do. I don't care how much wealth they have.
And a lot of them stated it.
They can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, how would they?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what everybody said. Like Diddy, everybody, the consistent theme around all of those people was like, "Yo, y'all lineup is crazy.
Yeah,
your lineup is crazy."
It almost wasn't real.
That was the consistent. That was the consistent theme of like, your lineup is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, there's nowhere you couldn't go. Even the vendor marketplace.
Hey.
There was some people there brainstorming and networking there and sharing some gems. It was amazing.
We forgot somebody that walked through the marketplace. Shout out to Milan too. Shout out to Milan.
Shout out to the queen. Yeah.
Milan actually went through a lot of the entrepreneurs' booths and purchased merchandise.
Yeah.
She didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah, that's fire.
She actually gave away merchandise to people.
Yeah.
She was incredible. But Tabitha Brown walked in that marketplace. Yeah.
That's a lot to learn.
Tabitha is a superstar.
A rock star, bro.
You're right. Rock star.
Rock star.
Her energy precedes her.
Absolutely.
You could feel the energy. And she's super gracious. It was like, auntie. Like people just love
her.
Her and everything about her they love. Her panel was incredible as well.
Yeah.
I was watching a little bit of hers just because it was like, yo, we had a conversation before she went on stage and it was like, I'm just so excited that she's here and she was excited to be here. Yeah. And she went on and killed it and still felt gracious enough. Like, let me go see what this is about.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you never know. Yeah. You never know.
Next year, start the phone calls early.
No, we already started a few phone calls.
Let's start working.
Oh, no, we already started working. We'll talk about that.
A few people couldn't make it this year at the last minute. You know, people have obligations and different things that come up. So maybe we can run the play back with them next year.
That'd be great.
Their schedule permits. But that was the scary part. We didn't even have a full roster as far as everybody that was supposed to be there. Some people, you know, kids have to go to college and last minute obligations have to happen. So, man, be very afraid. Get the playback. You can purchase the playback now. Yeah. Investfest.com.